Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Stop slouching and feeling restricted. Try these foam rolling and stretching techniques to open up the chest and improve your posture. You will need a foam roller and one yoga block or a large pillow. So let's get started. Let's begin with our glutes. So we're going to sit up on that roller. And let's lean over. Let's start on the left glute. So lean onto that left hand, left butt cheek, feet flat on the floor. And you're going to roll to the top and the bottom of that glute. So we're going to open up the chest, open up the front of the body, but we want to make sure our back is nice and loose. So we start out with the glutes just so we have a little more mobility in our hips, because that does affect our backs. Another roll to the top and the bottom. Now let's go a little deeper. Pull your left ankle over your right thigh. Open up that left knee and roll to the top and the bottom of that glute again. All the way up and down. Notice if you have any trigger points, you can pause on those trigger points, move that knee up and down, loosen things up. One more. Good. Now from here we're going to release and let's switch to the other side. So now you're leaning on that right arm, right butt cheek, and you're going to use your feet to roll to the top and the bottom of that glute on that right side. Now if you're right dominant, you might be feeling it a little bit more on this side, or if you haven't rolled in a while. Now we're going to find the middle of the glute, pull your right ankle over your left thigh, open up your knee, and then you're going to roll to the top and the bottom of that glute. Keep on rolling, keeping that knee open. Finding any spots, pulling that knee up and down, massaging it out. You can even rock side to side. Get down into those sits bones as well. Any trigger points or speed bumps are you finding in there? One more. Now you're going to uncross that right leg, place it back on the floor. Now let's have a seat on the floor and extend the legs out. And first take that left leg, cross it over, reach around, grab hold of that left leg with your right arm, and just give a nice twist so you can stretch it out. Flex your right foot while you're at it. Just feel how that calf feels. We're going to go there next, rolling out the calves. Just because, again, sometimes when we have tight calf muscles, it can affect our backs. One more breath. And then we're going to release, let that leg go. Pull the right knee into the chest. Wrap the left arm around. Right arm behind as a kickstand. Nice little twist here. Again, stretching through that glute hip. Flex your left foot. Notice if that calf is tight at all. What's the difference in the two sides of the leg? Now we're going to release that right leg. Take your roller and slide it underneath your knees. Hands behind you on the back. And then you're going to bring that roller, let's say like right to the middle of the calf muscles. Spread out your fingers. You're going to lift your hips and you're going to roll yourself forward and back on the calves. Now, we're going to go a little deeper. If you can, cross your left ankle over your right and lift yourself up and then roll all the way to the ankle and then back up towards the behind, close to behind the knee, but not quite all the way there. And see if you can add a right, so that right ankle is rotating. If it's hard to lift yourself up. You can always bend and straighten, keeping the hips on the floor. And you can also place your left foot on the floor if you need a little assistance, rolling it that whole way. Then rotate that whole leg right to the right, and then rotate around on the ankle, massaging out that calf, and then go to the inside edge, turning it to the left. Same thing. And again, feel free to be on your bottom sitting and just bending and straightening. That is totally fine. But you might want to get that arm strength up so you can lift your body up off the floor. It's a great little practice. Good, then you're going to lower your hips and we're going to change legs. So now you're going to the left, cross the right over the left, pull yourself forward and back, rotate that ankle, circle it around, both directions, then tilt the whole leg to your left. So you're going along the outside edge of that calf, circle the ankle both directions. Now we're going to the inside edge of the calf, rotate, circle it around, and then lower your hips back down. So now we're done with the calves. And to stretch them out, we're going to work our way towards the quad. So come up onto all fours. First thing you're going to do is press your right foot back towards the back of the mat, tucking those toes under. Just get a nice little stretch on the calf since you just rolled it. Pulling those shoulders away from the ears, and then bend the knee, place it on the floor, and then do the other side. Press your left ball of your foot into the mat right behind you. Good, and then bring it back down to the floor. Now we're going to roll the quads. So we're going to do both. I'm going to start out with my left quad, and we're going to do one leg at a time. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring that roller right above your left knee, and I'm going to bring my right knee onto the floor for support, and just roll yourself forward and back 1 inch. You can also straighten out the right leg if you would like, if you want that little support or just a little extra core work. So you're just moving forward and back 1 inch right above that knee, massaging the top of the quad. Then you can scoot backwards so the roller goes up the thigh just slightly and do forward and back again. And as you can see, or you can have the knee bent, make adjustments so you can get in there on that front of that quad. The knee can be on the floor, like I said, or you can be in a plank position, and just keep working your way up that left thigh. This might be a little challenging if your thighs are tender or you got some crystallized tissue or some fascia tissue that's very tight. I want you to get up this way. When we do one leg at a time, we can get way up into that hip flexor. So get right up into where that leg and hip start to connect. Now once you get up there towards the top, you go and straighten out both legs so you're in a plank, or you can even put a knee on the floor, so you have 2 options. But then I want you to see if you can draw yourself up onto your hands. So you're really stretching through that left hip, that left quad, and just stretching it out. And we will do another stretch as well to get into that area a little bit easier. And then lower all the way down, slide off, and now you're going to go to the other side. You're going to place your right knee on top of, right above the knee, on top of that roller, so you're not on that kneecap. Left foot leg is straight, and then just roll yourself forward and back 1 inch. So the good part about this is we're warming up the upper body, so then we'll be able to really open up that chest, stretch through the upper back when we're done. Move it backwards, moving up the thigh slightly, forward and back, And again, you can always put the knee on the floor if needed, if it's very intense for your thigh. Keep on moving up a little higher. And you might notice that one of the thighs are tighter than the other. Keep on moving up till you can go all the way up into that hip flexor. Now once you get up there and you're like, okay, I'm towards that hip flexor, very top of that thigh, bring both hands to the floor and see if you can straighten out. Lift up the upper body. Straighten out those arms. Stretch things out. If that bothers your back, then stay down on those elbows. Good. And then we're going to send both knees to the floor. Knees apart, feet together. Bring that roller out in front. Bring the fingertips to the roller. Let's melt the belly between the thighs and stretch out the back, the quads over those knees. And then come all the way up. Now we're going to do another stretch for the front. So go ahead and have a seat. Bring your roller under your knees again, and this time you're going to lay all the way onto your back. And you're going to press your feet into the floor, and if you want, you can roll that roller all the way under the hip or the tailbone area, because you want to rest on the roller. Now you are welcome to use a yoga block instead if the roller is too big and you want something a little lower to the floor. And then you're going to pull your right knee into your chest, and you're going to extend your left leg straight forward and flex. Flex that left foot. Feel the stretch through that left hip flexor. So you rolled all the way up to the top, remember? So that's why we want to stretch it out. Now rotate your left ankle. And then change direction. Now go ahead and bend your left knee, pull it towards your chest, and extend your right leg all the way back out. Flex that right foot. And then rotate the ankle. Flex it one more time. Feeling that stretch to the right hip flexor. Good. And then hug both knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. And then release the feet to the floor, knees bent. Lift your hips off of the roller and let the hips come back down. You're going to roll yourself all the way up. And we're going to roll the front of the quads one more time. So you're going to come back onto your hands and knees. This time we're going to go both legs at the same time. So you're going to place your elbows on the floor like a plank, both knees right below the roller. So the roller is right above those kneecaps. And you're going to roll forward and back an inch at the same time on both legs. Then you're going to work your way up the thigh, walking the elbows backwards. Forward and back. It might be a little easier now that we've just gently rolled each of them and stretched them out. And then walk the elbows back. Another inch. Working your way up those thighs. And you might notice a difference in each leg. And keep working your way up till you can't go any more up the thigh comfortably. And when you get to the top of those thighs, we're going to bend the legs, bend the knees, and rock those legs side to side. And just notice what's going on in the hips. Rocking side to side. One more rock each side, and then we release those legs. Good. Slide off the back of the roller. See if you can get the knees even further apart, feet together, arms as wide as the roller, melt the belly between the thighs, really stretch it out. Find your child's pose, head towards the floor. Now we're going to come all the way up and we're going to just turn around, and so our upper backs are going to go on that roller. Now with your shoulder blades on the roller, bring your fingertips behind your ears, feet flat on the floor. Open up that chest and just notice if you can breathe okay. The roller's not too low on the shoulder blades. You're looking upward at the ceiling or the sky, and you are holding and supporting that neck. Then you're going to lift your hips and you're going to roll to the top and to the bottom of those shoulder blades. All the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. You might get that natural chiropractic adjustment, a little pop. You want it to feel good. One more. And then find the middle of your shoulder blades. Lower those hips. Let's draw the right arm over the top of that roller. And then rock yourself towards the armpit as long as you're not missing lymph nodes and you're not putting any pressure there. You want to stay in that armpit area, maybe rock towards the chest wall and then back into the shoulder blade and then forward, keeping the elbows nice and wide. Maybe go back further, elbow comes off the floor and then forward. Now while you're rocking and rolling here, take your top left leg and see if you can slide it behind you further. And then open up that chest, roll backwards, and then roll forward. As you roll forward into the chest, feel the extension through the left side of the body in that hip flexor. It's all connected. That's why we wanted to roll those legs, make sure they are able to lengthen the tissue so it doesn't restrict us all the way up into the shoulders. Really send that leg behind you if you can. Feel it up through the rib cage. One more, rock and roll, side to side. Good, bring that right knee in, roll onto your upper back. Now we're going to keep the left hand behind the head, bring your right arm forward down by your hip, and just tilt slightly onto that right shoulder. So you're not putting all your weight on that right arm, just a little bit on the back of the arm, and then just slide yourself gently forward and back. So just getting a little bit of the tricep, palm is up. Then turn your palm down. Notice the difference. You can use your feet on the floor for leverage, pushing your body forward and back. Last one, and then you're going to lower your hips, bring your hands back behind your head, and let's switch to the left side. So you're going to drop to the left hip, knees are stacked, left elbow on the top side of that roller, hands behind the head, and then again rock into that chest wall, and then back, being mindful if you have no lymph nodes there or you're missing some, not putting too much pressure there, or using a softer roller is key. Now as we rock and roll here, maybe take that top leg, slide it behind you so the inside of that foot is on the floor and you're reaching it back. So you're lengthening through the whole right side of the body all the way down into the hip, that rib cage. So remember, the psoas is fascially connected to that diaphragm, and we're opening up through that rib cage, that chest area. We're breathing, we're working that diaphragm. So we can increase our lung capacity. Open and close. 2 more times. Now we're going to bring that knee back in, rock onto your back, bring your left arm next to your body, keep your right hand behind your head so you support your neck. Lean slightly to the left so you get a little bit of pressure on the arm in addition to the back, and then just draw your body. You're up and down, palm is down. Then turn your palm up. Notice the difference. Maybe one tricep has more tender spots than the other. One more. And then we come back to center. Bring both hands behind the head. Lean into that roller. And as you're leaning into it, the hips are on the floor, feet are flat, and you're feeling your body curve over the top of the roller. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale it out. Now we're going to finish up with one final stretch just to really open up the chest. So here's where you will need a block to support your head. If you don't have a block, use a big pillow, something that you can stack, or a blanket. And you want to make sure that roller is about mid-shoulder blades, and you want to be able to bring your elbows behind the roller. And then you're going to use that yoga block to support your head. So you're going to place it, make sure it goes flat on the floor first, turn it longwise, and then you can put your head on that roller. Now if it's too high, you can always adjust the block to be lower, again, depending on what feels okay to your head and your neck. All right, so most people will want to have the block flat on the floor and your head on the block, because then you just really get a lot of length in that neck, and that's the key, not to compress the vertebrae in the back of the neck. And then you open up your arms, place them on the floor. If they don't reach the floor, not a big deal. You can always put them on the roller if that bothers your shoulders. And then you're going to bring them out nice and wide. Feel that chest expanding. Now your feet can remain flat on the floor, knees bent, or you can straighten out your legs. Another option, if that's too high and you want a little more length, and you can comfortably lower the block, you have different options, or adjust your pillow if you're using a pillow. You could always fold the pillow in half and extend the arms out. Just close your eyes, relax. Feel the chest opening up, feel the length of your neck. You want this to feel good, not restrictive. If you feel like you can't breathe, then make adjustments on the roller. One more breath here. And then you'll start to bring the arms down next to you, relax them. Maybe bring the palms down, and then let your head turn gently to the right, feeling the stretch to the left side of your neck. And then let your head come back through the center and turn to the left, feeling the stretch on the right side of the shoulder. And then bring your head back to neutral. Go ahead and bend your knees. Place your feet flat on the floor. Drop your knees to either left or right, and slowly bring yourself up to a nice, tall, seated posture. Extend those arms out, open up that chest, take a deep breath in, touch the fingers overhead, exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.